Hello, welcome to another video from betfairtradingcommunity.com. Today I'm going to show you how to create shortlists for your strategies where you're just looking for particular odds on markets. So the one that I've got up here is the draw odds market, but I'm going to show you how you can do that on multiple different markets, how easy it is to do and how cool that is to do. Guys, if you're looking for strategies, I know I've had a few messages this week, people saying I really want some strategies. Say the word 10 and we will share some strategies that Ryan's gone around. He's talked to a bunch of traders, bunch of people who've been doing really well on Betfair. He's found the 10 most popular strategies. So if you just say the word 10 in the comments, I will get those over to you and you'll be able to start looking at those and potentially trading them on Betfair. But without further ado, let's get into today's strategy video, because the question I get asked a lot is, I want to create a strategy, or I just want to look at, let's say, the draw odds for today, or I just want to look at teams within a certain price range who are the home team or the away team, or even the favourite or underdog. So what we did on Betfair Trading Community on this football software here, which by the way, if you haven't got, go and get it. You can go and get it at betfairtradingcommunity.com. I think first month is half price, so that's well worth doing. But anyway, what we've done is we've enabled you to be able to do all of those things. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to refresh the page. If you get stuck with a strategy and you're like, oh, I want to create a new strategy, but I'm not sure how, the easiest way I find is just to literally refresh the page here. So that's what I'm going to do. And then once it's refreshed, you can see that the strategy selection and section is here. So on the right hand side is where you want to create the strategies on the Betfair Trading Community software, okay? And by the way, if you listen on podcast, thanks for listening. I'll also talk this through so that you can still understand this on the podcast as well. But what you're going to want to do is just click create new filter. The box says create new filter, okay? The import from files stuff that you'll see is where you can import your own strategy. You can import a strategy that someone shared or we've shared with you and save it. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to create a new filter, okay? And the first thing you want to select, so you're going to get options on what you want to select. The first thing you want to select with a stat subject is Betfair, okay? Because we're going to look at Betfair odds. So the stat type we want is odds, so we select that after that. And then here's where you select the stat you want. And now I've got a lot to choose from. You could look for certain score lines. So we've got like 0-0, 1-0, 0-1, etc., etc. Well, we've also got favourite, underdog, home, away, and draw. Okay. We've also got over-unders, as you'd expect, all the way up to 3.5 goals. So we've got over-under 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. But let's say you just want to look at the home odds for today, okay? So you can put home in that selection. And then under the select operator, you're going to basically pick your odds range. So usually you'll be using between. So you'd select between and then you pick what odds you want, okay? So I'm just going to start with 1.01. Wow, I can't type today. I'm trying to type just with my left hand here as I've got my hand on the mouse. But as we add that, you can see now, if you're watching the video, that this is set. Okay, we're going to see the Betfair home odds from 1.01 to 1,000. Now you can still add in other filters, so you could add in matches played that season. You could add in restrict to current season, exclude playoff matches, which I think is always a really good thing to do. I don't like to trade playoff games. But again, if you're just looking at general odds and that's something you're interested in and you want to trade playoffs, then you don't need to. And also, if you're looking to trade this in play, you're going to want to restrict to going in play matches. We don't really need to do anything for that here today, but those are options you can choose yourself, okay? And then all I'm going to do for the name of this filter is just call it home odds. I'll give it 2026 because I think I've done this filter before. And we click save, okay? And now it's going to give us the matches and their odds basically for today, and it will use last price match. So for example, CSK Sofia here, 3.0. Okay, they're the home team. That's the odds they are. Okay, so this basically gives you the shortlist in a price range that you've chosen. But what you're probably going to want to do is have something a little less broad than 1.01 to 1,000. So maybe you want to look at odds on favourites. So let's put in here 1.01 to 1.99, between 1.01 and 1.99. Click update, and that will update that for you, and then save the filter again. And here you go, you've got all of the odds on selections here, and as you can see if you're watching the video, this narrows the selections down. So we had, I think, 3 pages of results when we had all odds, but now we've got just 1 page, and I think it's around 15 results per page by the looks of it. So that's a very easy way to filter out the certain odds range you might want for your shortlist of games that day. And again, it'd be quite easy today to just have a little look at these games individually, and then you could go and look at the stats in a bit more depth in the software if you so wish, match by match. But let's say we want to do this on a different filter. So let's say we want to look at let's just choose away odds, right? Because we've already done home. Okay, now if we do this, and all we do is we change home from away once we click edit filter, okay, like you've seen me do there. Click update again, okay, but this time what you're going to want to do is give the filter a name. So I'm going to call it away odds 2026, okay. And here's the really important bit: don't click save, click save new, because now I have actually got a totally different filter. I've got the away odds one, but I haven't had to go through the rigmarole of starting from scratch, okay. And as you can see, we've got away odds 2026 here in the filters. I'm just showing the menu, and then we can see we've also got home odds, okay. So these 2 strategies are now here for us, very easy to view, okay. And we're looking at odds on selections for the away team, but again, you could change this to be what you wanted it. So maybe you just want to look at away teams that are odds against. So let's look at 2 to 1,000, add that, and then get rid of the other one, and then save it, okay. And now you've got all the away team odds that are above evens for the day. Again, it's going to be a much broader list than odds on away favourites, because away teams aren't often odds on, given the advantage that home teams have in football, okay. But let's do one more example of this, because you might go, well, I'm not interested in home or away, I'm interested in goals, I'm a goals backer. If you're anything like me, that's probably the way you think most of the time. Okay, cool. Well, let's say you just want to look at the over 2.5 goal odds. Same situation here. We just change away team to over 2.5 goals, and let's say we want to find over 2.5 goals above 2.0. Well, we can leave this as it currently is, where we're looking at between odds of 2 and 1,000. And remember, click update, and that will change the initial filter. Give it a name, okay, over 2.5 goals 2026. And we're going to save that as a new one again. Remember, really important to click save new here. And once you've done that, we've now got the odds against over 2.5 goal odds, which says about a page and a half, so about 20 odd matches there. Again, you could narrow this further if you had a different price range you wanted to look at, or you could look at the odds on shots. But it's so easy to do. You know, let's say I want to look at the odds on shots. All I've got to do is click edit filter, click on the actual filter itself on the bit that says the over 2.5, and then all I change is the odds in the menus to 1.01 to 1.19, so it's going to go in between those. Don't click add, click update, and then all I need to do is save it, okay. And this filter is here, and we've got all the odds on over 2.5s for the day, okay. Really simple, right? Really simple way. And I'll show you again in the menu that we have now got away odds 2026, we've got home odds 2026, and we've got over 2.5 goal odds 2026. And the reason that I think this is a really cool way of doing things, the reason I think this is really actually a powerful feature of the software, is that you can now create basically shortlists for your trading for the day based on the criteria you want instantly. You can get a list of those, but not only that, you can then look at those games individually. So if you click on the matches once they're in the selection box, so if you see that they do fit your odds criteria for the day, you can then go, right, well, I want to look at Sirius v Hammarby today. Okay, how many times have they been 0-0 at half time? Okay, 6. Okay, let's say 30%, change it to a percentage, we can look at that. 30%, okay, cool. Last 10 games each, home for home, away for away. Okay, that's really interesting. 1-0, 25%. So most of the time, there's not going to be 2 goals in the first half. Okay, interesting, because this is odds on for over 2.5. So you might go, maybe this is a strategy I'll look at, where I'm looking at teams like that who like to have high percentage of games where they don't have many goals in the first half, but the odds on over 2.5 still happens. And if it gets to 0-0 or 1-0 at half time, obviously you're going to be in a decent enough position. So yeah, that's kind of a really basic idea of what you can do with this, but there's so much obviously you can do with it. And I think it's really good, because one of the things that I think the Betfair trading community software does that we probably don't talk about enough is it saves you a lot of time. Imagine trying to do what I've just done, not only manually, but then looking at those games individually and figuring out which games you actually want to look at. It would take ages. I mean, I used to do this, for example, when I first started trading on Betfair. And when I really got in really heavy into goals trading, probably about 15 years ago, I used to go on soccer stats and just go through each game individually on a weekend. And it took me, I'd do it actually on a Friday. I'd have to start on a Friday, and it would take me probably 8-9 hours. And now it's something I can do in 5-10 minutes. So again, the value of that, I just don't think, especially in this world where what's everyone always saying? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. To save that amount of time, to me it's priceless. And anyway, but you see how easy that was, you see how simple that was, and creating different strategies from your strategy you've already created is really easy. You just click edit filter to edit that strategy, change the criteria, give it a name, and then most importantly, click save new. Okay, don't just save it, or it'll save over obviously the work you've already done. But again, you can just recreate it from scratch if you need to. And remember, if you do kind of get a bit in that situation where you want to start something from scratch, just click refresh. That's what I do, and then it brings up the create filter page straight away, and it's not an issue. All right, everyone, hopefully that's explained it really well. Again, if you want a copy of those 10 strategies, let us know. Just say the word 10 in the comments, and I will get those right over to you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope this has been helpful for you in how to use the software, and also how it can be massively beneficial for you. If you want to get that software and you haven't already, just head over to betfairtradingcommunity.com and sign up. It's half price for the first month, so it'd be mad not to. But I hope you have a great week, and I hope you make some money trading on Betfair.